Shalom. It's going to be a new song of Moses. Shalom, peace. Yeah, you're a binky man. I know when I was young, me and my brother, my name is Michelle Caroline Martin. Michelle's to Archangel Michael, means like God. And my dad thinks that he named me after that song by the Beatles, Michelle My Bell. These are the words that go together well. I had a trumpet when I was 13. Maybe I'll get a bell. I've ordered a new drum, a shaman drum. I had one in Australia, but I had to chuck it out because I had Carly's name written on it, you know. Yeah, it's that Times of Dark. Yeah, so Brother Bronze, who's connected with Gavin of Christchurch, and that's Elder Rawhart. That the last thing he done was send a load of demons to fight against me. I have a Kachina for an angel, and I'm pretty sure Archangel Michael is with me, you know. He rises up to defend the children of Israel. I'm only the tribe of Dan, but, you know, it doesn't matter how powerful you are, it's those that are for justice. That's who God cares about the most, you know. And Isa is in me the most. He's in all of us, but he's in me the most. You know, it's like Tex says in Front Lines, the split second that Jesus boasted us to wait. I couldn't say it at the split second because I wasn't on camera. You know, and it was a bit overwhelming. But I done it not long after. You know, we've tested most of everything. Surbiton's very very safe. You know, I know that some of you've been making your way here. You know, I've not seen any of you personally, but sometimes I get told go to the window. Sometimes I'm somewhere else. Maybe I'm in a prison or something, and I get told go away from the windows and just say pretend I haven't seen anyone escape. It could be anything, you know, because we only live once, don't we? Because it says in the Bible, it is given to man or human, because man means man and woman. You understand? I think what these feminists say in the Bible is sexist. Some of it has been like left out and twisted, you know. I'm pretty sure the Quran is still whole, isn't it? Yeah, that's the kind of miracle of it, that it can never be changed. But we have to watch out for mistranslations. Hopefully there's someone in the group that knows Arabic. There must be, you know. I know the Prophet's Muhammad's son is among us, you know. So I'm kind of like Shai's daughter, but like you know, he wasn't married to Mary Magdalene, like Jesus says. Jesus Immortal Technique says in this song, Mary Magdalene giving birth to the children of Jesus. She's the great whore of Babylon, you know. So she's probably in America at the moment, but she was in England before, wasn't she? She come to France. It was about probably over 20 years ago, and then suddenly one day I just thought, I heard about this before. I was listening to Immortal Technique as well, and one day I just thought, I'm the daughter of Mary Magdalene and Jesus, and we've got other ones that are in trouble. I better kind of like draw the attention on me, you know, because I don't know why I just thought that. And then and then she tried to put the names of blasphemy on me. Once was at Tolworth Mental Hospital, which is at Red Line Road, because there's 4 Christs, 4 or 8, maybe there's 4, and we do it 2. So there's a red one, I'm the power one. The black one is obviously Yeshua HaMashiach, and he's the first and the last to understand. The other one is Nunga from Australia, you know. Yeah. Yeah, and then what happened? I was mad. I had paranoid schizophrenia, and then that was my first diagnosis. And then I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. That's my current diagnosis, as you can see. Unless you're mad, you probably think I'm mad, you know. And it says in the Bible, most of the world will be deceived. We've now reached that time. I'm only just kind of working out that we're actually in the graves being questioned, you know. And we're also doing the questioning, aren't we? Because there are recording angels among you, you know. So let me try and keep focused. I'm going to try and start taking notes. I've got everything organised, so I'm kind of in chaos, but Illuminati, don't bother. You'll never get order out of me. I know you want to go on with your order out of chaos. Hopefully some of the Illuminati shalom on our side now, because when Moses was going to the Pharaoh of that day, you know, and then some of the magicians, you know, when Moses threw his snake, and then when the Illuminati magicians, Pharaoh's magicians, threw their snake, and then Moses ate it up, and then this is in the Quran, not the Bible, and then some of the magicians come out and said, no, we'll go on Moses' side, and they were tortured and everything. They didn't give in. When you're being tortured, it happens to White Paul. Like Shia and me and the other angels were just with you, like kind of holding you in that. That's where so much trauma in my life has come from. Now he's with me, and that's happened. I can deal with it. But I just thought I was such a wuss, and I was making a fuss over nothing, you know, and everything. And you know, I just thought I was so useless. But they spun me backwards, man. Yes, so that was entire, and the other one was Queen Mary's Hospital at Roehampton, I think, nearest London. And even though I was a bit crazy, I get schizoaffective with schizophrenia with bipolar. I'm still a bit bipolar, not bisexual. I can't like a twin. I've got a twin somehow, you know, twin flame, but as well. That was one of the times I really realised that they said it was a different person, but I'm pretty sure it's diabolic, and I'm pretty sure it's all his clones, you know. And the one time that was the worst, man, and I knew that he'd ripped me apart from my twin. But I don't think it was like a man, like a twin flame. I think like we were like little babies or children. I felt I had so much like power in me, so much strength in me. And then they say that like there's this new drug in America, and it just like gets you demon possessed straight away. All drugs and all illegal sex, and will get you demon possessed. Not possessed, but they'll give you power. But there's this, is it fracker or something, and it just gets you demon possessed, and they're like ripping their clothes off, going cannibal. That's in one of the text songs, the Righteous and the Cannibals or something like that. I think that's Creation and Destruction. I can't remember. I only just started listening to him again recently. But it's like it says in the Quran, like last to Muhammad, you'll not forget unless Allah wills, you know. And then I wouldn't have like progressed. I would have just been listening to Vocal Technique, although he does sing about everything, you know. But I've had a lot of time to look into other things, you know. And then if you lose something and God gives it back to you, it's worth more to you, and then you make sure you're never going to lose it. You have the value of it, you know. And this world thinks that we're like rubbish, that we're not worth anything. But trust me, to God, we're like priceless. Understand? That's why He done all that for us, for the elect. And then our job is not like these racist black Hebrew Israelites like Gavin of Christchurch. It's not to have a new world order of black slavery and oppress people. It says right in the Bible we're to be a light to the Gentiles, and a lot of us are mixed race. Like, I've got English blood in me. I was born in her Shamanic, and you know, and I was always more for Ireland, but a lot of English people did help us. A lot of white people helped during slavery, and you know, and black people have helped me like a little bit online. Obviously not as much because I'm the one that chose to come and speak out. And then obviously it's like Texas in a song. Pretend you don't know me, but no, you're loving it. And other people really do hate me. They pretend they love me, you know. Yeah. So what it says? Oh yes, the brother bronze. Oh yes. So they were injecting me. I said you're putting false names of gods in me. Get names of blasphemy, names that our fathers never feared, you know. And then I found that in the Bible. I was in both hospitals. There's about 6 nurses holding me down, like really big men. Some of them like African. And then afterwards, I said to them, "I'm sorry, I kicked off. I just can't stand it." And I said, "I forgive you. I know you know you don't know what you're doing." Hopefully, none of them did, you know, because that's a really serious offence in God's eyes, you know. And yeah, so Brother Bronze has a song called "The Song of Moses." It has a really good video. I just really like his songs. Well, it's like hypnotising. It's like some kind of witchcraft. That was like the fake teacher from the Line of Judah Society. His current channel now is Ethiopian Jews, and it was when he first said about a new world order based on slavery, and I was kind of like, what the f? And then like after that I couldn't stand his voice, whereas before that I thought his voice was so nice, you know, because I'm really into voices more than appearance, you know. Anyway, I was trying to think who leads the prayers. Is it Isa, Jesus, or the Imam Mahdi? So yeah, I found the fake Imam Mahdi that says about all the countries that will support him, and I put a comment on YouTube saying that I'm in the UK if I get any authority, because Yeshua said he'll make me a princess over all the United Kingdom, and that Ireland won't have 6 counties occupied by Britain. That would be one again, and we'd be ruled by Tara. That's the Holy Land of Ireland. That's where the Ark of the Covenant is at the moment. That's thanks to King Selassie, Jarastafari, our father, and the 144,000 faithful tribe of Benjamin. They were the first 144,000. I don't know what happened to the other, you know, with like the 13th tribe, you know. Apparently that's the Illuminati's lucky number. It might be for the Illuminati that are on our side now, but for the rest of them, mashallah, Tiawani trying to go there, man. Yes, so they're the first 144,000. Osiris is in all of us, so you probably, if you haven't woken up already, you should be waking up. The Holy Spirit will guide you to this video. yeah, in spirits isn't so bad. I'm just like trying to concentrate on so many things. But I just wanted to make a quick video just to say like hi to everyone. And then I'm going to start taking notes, and today just concentrate on cleaning up my house. So this is the hadith. Yeah, so Isis in me, Imam Mahdi is twofold. It's going back to the old days where the priest had a priestess, and it's a kind of shared inheritance. So the Mahdi will link up all the religions, especially the Abrahamic faiths. You know, the Jews, and there's two types, isn't there? There's the Hebrew ethnic Jews, Hebrew Israelites like we are, tribe of Dan, Judah, tribe of Benjamin, and tribe of Levi and Haiti, they're the black ones, tribe of Reuben in Nangaz in Australia, and then there's Puerto Rico, Brazil, Mexico, like Ashita. I haven't learnt all those ones yet. And then there's your non-ethnic Messianic Jews. That's what I call them now, not false Jews. There's nothing false about them. They really love Yeshua. I saw masses of them today protesting in New York. I've been to the protests on them in London for Palestine, you know. And they really don't. And we're not supposed to go to the Holy Land until the Prophet is back, you know. But then a Rastafari told me online that Zion is where, because they kept saying Zion, Ethiopia is Zion. And Ethiopia is really beautiful. They've got the stone churches. I really want to go there and worship. So that means that the island is that's where the Ark of the Covenant is. And like I said, some of us are like portable, you understand? It's like that TV show Astronomer, and the ship, she manifests herself as a human being, but she's still in the ship. That's also a storyline on Doctor Who. And the girl Rose, she went mad because like she'd done something. I think I done that. I stole someone's clothes. I'm pretty sure I stole Quincy Carter's clothes. That's why I thought I was him. Because I remember I was saying online, and it is true, that I had to go and get children, and I had to pretend that I was buying them for slaves for someone else, you understand, just to get them, and then I would just say to them who I really was, and they were really happy to see me. So they probably thought I was Quincy Carter, so I'm really sorry. Apparently I've been forgiven, it's not surprising. If a thief steals something, he has to repay sevenfold, you know. So this is the hadith. Hadith of Jesus praying behind Mahdi refers to a collection of hadith related to the prophecy that after Jesus, Isa, then the other half it will be all of our husbands, because that is a joint thing, you know. I'm just the first one getting the knowledge to reunite the religions, you know. And I've done some like my videos. I'll try and make it more clear and do it on one video. I was just in a desperate rush to kind of get people's attention. Refers to the prophecy that after Jesus, Isa descends from heaven to join the Mahdi and his followers in the final days before the destruction of earth. Jesus will decline the offer of the Mahdi to lead the Mahdi in company in Salat, Islamic ritual prayer which Muslims perform 5 times a day, but we're no longer under that. So obviously we do have to pray, but you don't have to. I don't do all the bowing down on that. I've seen it before. They've got some kind of witchcraft, whereas when you're all bending down at the same time, they can hijack you all at the same time. It was really scary, and then I don't know the language, and I didn't feel authentic praying to God in a language I didn't understand. Obviously I looked it up online, you know, and it says it in Arabic, and then it says it in English, but it's not the same as just like kneeling down and just really pouring out your heart. And I pray in tongues, so I probably am praying some Arabic, you know. I pray a lot of tongues, so I need to get more into it. And I've learned Hebrew, and before I was learning Hebrew, I learned some Ethiopian. I really need to learn some Irish, I suppose, because they used to kill the Irish as well for speaking their own language. So there's obviously some kind of power in them. Yeah, Yeshua will descend. What a cheat, man. Obviously they've got a fake Jesus coming, because this is Gathering Christchurch calendar. Passover, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindred of the earth shall wail because of him. Yeah, MF, you're gonna wail, alright. Even so, Amen. I'm Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord Adonai, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty El Shaddai. Revelation 1:7-8. But he's here. That's in jartruth.org.com. Please read it quickly. They're taking these things down. It took me a while to search it. Yeah, I am. I'm going to start a Patreon. I've already started one. So I must have known. And then I'll start a proper one. I'm going to say £2 a month, yeah? And obviously you can't afford it. You can just go free. And then all the funds will go to any prisoners that are still in, that we find, that we can send books and, you know, food and things. I think most of our prisoners are out, but then they're kind of in and out, you understand? So we've still got a month or two to go, you know. that it could go off at any time, you know. I'm pretty sure we won't be going out. Satan's rapture will be first. But that crystal, I love Jesus. I was praying like not to let her. It's too late for her, you understand. But she's had enough chances. I was praying that her followers don't get deceived, you know. And there's been some really good rapture videos on it lately. And one was about, and on the 1 minute shorts, they're really informative. Just 1 minute shorts. If you want to subscribe, I'd recommend it. And she was saying there was a lion, and he was scary. He had like lightning coming out of his eyes and his forehead. And then she realised it was the Lion of Judah, and he was there to protect her. And that's yeah, that's in Lost Children of Babylon songs. Hopefully some of them come to our side, but most of them with Mary Magdalene. That's in one of their songs. Babylon crossed off the list. Babylon standing next to me crossed off the list. So it's meant to be. I think you find a larger signs of how things are meant to be. We do have powers. We're creative beings, you understand. So you can use your art. Thou art, our God. I'm not very good at art, man, because obviously I'm some kind of muse or something in one of my lives, and they're like they're taking all my creativity, you know. But I've always like loved music and things, you know, photography and things, art. So, you know, and I'll get that back in time. My voice is so horrible. Obviously, I've done that deliberately because you wouldn't be expecting someone like me, you know. But apparently in heaven I'm still an angel and I've still got a really nice voice. I try not to like get too downhearted. They want us to hate themselves. I hate ourselves, you know. We still have God made us inside, and it just helps you get over the ego of having a body and being stuck in the physical. You understand? Whether we're clones or machines or whatever, it's just a vessel for our spirit, you know. So yeah, Isis in me the most. He's waiting for his new body, and that's to do with the Morgellons and the Ark of the Covenant as well. And we'll all have them. So most of them will be the boys, the men first, you know, and a few sisters that are fit for physical jihad. I'll be going probably below ground or wherever we go. There are other bases, yes. I would Red Ark, who's now in heaven, and who the main prophecy is the Hopi Native Americans. They say a true white brother is coming to help them get their land back, and then obviously God already knew, but somehow about Caesar Borgia, the fake white Jesus. Sometimes I think that's to do with my brother Gary Alexander Martin when I was in Australia, who's really like torturing me, not physically, but like when I'm testifying to people and that, you really feel the torture pain on your body, and then like afterwards, like the Holy Spirit will say, oh yeah, that you're back witnessing, that's in the Quran as well, you know, and it's in some other books I've read by Ian M. Banks. That's like the culture, and they kind of like different humans and aliens, and some of them are on special circumstances, which means they can kind of go outside the laws, not outside God's laws, but you know they're kind of like the 13th tribe, the Hayaka, or is it Lakota Native American. It's kind of like a priesthood, but they're very irreverent, and they kind of like mock the established order and that. Just what we need this time, you know. So yeah, so I suppose what happens is that he gets his own body. He's on Earth now. That's in jartruth.org. That also tells you about the Ark of the Covenant being at Tara, and about Ireland's history, which I really need to look into. I've spent too much time on Africa. Not that it's not good to know African history, but you know, obviously I should know Ireland's history as well. I just thought it was all about Africa, then I thought it was all about the Arab lands, you know. But it could all be about the UK. Apparently, the Antichrist. I saw like some programs years ago said the Antichrist is here, and I found a good thing about in the 17th century he was here. Anyway, Jesus will decline the offer of the Mahdi to lead. The Mahdi is an Islamic figure in Islamic eschatology, and Salat is the Islamic practice of worship of God. And we do really need to establish regular prayer. That's in the Quran, that's in the Bible. We pray like noon, 3 p.m, 6 p.m, and so on every 3 hours. The most important is 3 a.m. That's like the witching hour when the witches will, and you know, that's most of the religious leaders these days, isn't it? Will be praying against us. The prophecy is narrated in numerous hadith collections. A total of 29 hadiths relate the return of Jesus and his prayer with Mahdi's lead. The story is sometimes said to establish the importance, the acknowledgement of this by prophet, namely Jesus. So that's good. How many? 29 hadiths. And then I'm just going to be quick because I'm going to kneel down and pray. I was going to lead some prayers, but I'm not sure who should be leading them. But I haven't seen anyone else go online, you know. But I want to wait until I get my place like proper and everything tomorrow. and this is an article from Cambridge, the science top university, Apocalypse and Anti-Catholicism in 17th century English drama. And like I said, I've always been interested in art, and I'm sure some of you are very artistic, you know. When I was at, I'm also didactic, whatever the term is, I have been since Mice guided me in all the religions. But before that, I got kicked out of school. I was in children's homes and that for running away, and then for like petty crime and things. But I kind of like read my own books, and then I've done access to higher education at Brooklands College, and also in London in Clapham, and then at Kingston University the first year for applied social science, and one of the courses I've done at Brooklands, it was some kind of like English. It was cultural studies, and one of the literature classes, there's only so many like stories you understand. It's just the characters and things that change. Anyway, early modern apocalyptic and anti-Catholic discourse draws on a wide range of classical, biblical, medieval and humanist ideas. In this chapter, I explore how these intellectual strands are used before and after the Reformation. I then examine how theatrical and visual culture draws on such strands, suggesting how they relate to the generic national and international preoccupations of early modern drama. My main argument is that the 17th century sees the development of a flexible, apocalyptic and anti-Catholic discourse closely attuned to political tensions within the state. And then Book 1 of Ovid's Metamorphoses, 8th century, offers Christian readers an alternative account of the world's creation and destruction. And that's a really good song by Immortal Technique, Creation and Destruction. I can barely remember it. It says how old the earth is, and then I was thinking he must be wrong, because it says in the Bible that earth is 6,000 years old, but now I've got like a deeper knowledge, and that's just this current fourth world or whatever we're on. The best ones, I've only looked into it, so you probably all got your own ones. The one I'm going to concentrate on is like the Hopi, you know, obviously. And then read out, give the updated prophecy that the true white brother would be a sister, and I am here to help them get their land back. I think that's going to be through Morgellons. It's in everything. It's also proof in Islam that we're in the graves being questioned. In the Bible, in Genesis, there's like 2 creations, and also God repeats everything twice in the Bible. That's really important. Just things like that. And then I was always thinking, since I read like, and you're all in hell, man, and then you shout out, oh please let us out, Allah, we'll feed the poor, we won't worship idols, we'll stand up to the oppressors, we won't be cowards, we won't sell you out, we won't kill your prophets anymore, you know. And look, and lo and behold, you come out and it's worse than you've ever been, you know. And then I saw an article about 144,000 and their associates, called Trial by Jury of Your Peers. That rapper, not Technique, no ways, that he's got a song called Military Minds, but it's nowhere near the minds of Tech. Tupac Shakur, his mother was a Black Panther, you know, had a good pedigree. I've got a really bad like family in this world, you know, they seem so sweet. I'm the black sheep, even though I'm beyond the power, you get me. Yeah, and how can these people judge me? They ain't my peers, they never love me, but this really is, you know. And then that's how come we can be one of the judges. But I don't really feel good to judge, you know. I've been witnessing a lot, you know, without kind of realising it at the start. It's just how deep this rabbit hole is, you know. I'm just concentrating on healing, just like, I just want to kind of be just like a normal person for a while. Obviously, like still like supernatural, but just concentrate on cleaning up. And I really want to get into prayers, like really be like a priest, and like a healer, you understand? Yeah. And also we'll have saints clothing, because this Morgellons, like I believe that Paul had it, you know, because he said something about and the other believers, they didn't mind that their goods were ruined because of me. And then one Christian whatever scholar said that that's because their goods were smashed up, and that's true. Like, they were taken away, weren't they, arrested, their houses all smashed up. And but I think it was this Morgellons, because it's a type of leprosy, so you can, and that's probably one power as well, but we're all paler than we used to be, you know, apart from like the Africans. But then these Hebrew Black Israelites, they're the worst ones that I found, you know. They're just terrible, you know, how they treat God, you know, and treat us. Shocking, man. They could be like white supremacists or like demons in disguise or something, I suppose. Because if we're all in human forms, they could be in like demons in disguise, you know, try to stop us from uniting. You know, they're not going to stop me, man. I just kept thinking, well, you know, Jesus is Judah tribes. You know, even if there's only one, that would be enough. And obviously that it's others, you know. Yeah, tax half Judah. Yeah, I'm going to leave that at that. I'm just going to get a coffee, check my window, and then I'll be on my knees praying. And then what we need to do, if you'll hear your angel or just your inner spirit guide, or you know, CIA voice to skull if you're not very spiritual yet and you need a hand. We you know, that's how come we got a lot of people out the jail this time. That's the kind of synthetic technological ashamanity that you know, it kind of like puts voices in your head. They call it the voice of God. It was the voice of Satan and the CIA, criminals in action. And I don't think God's going to use it. If God wants to talk, he'll shout from the clouds, you know, or from an angel. But the people of God are going to testing it now, you know. So wow, what a strange world. Okay, bye for now. Chucky Allah, our days come.